school one day, and he said something that was interesting. And he said, at this point, it's kind of like we're hiring anybody with a breath, so to speak. I don't want to quote him, but anybody who's breathing. And that kind of scares me, because if you don't have the right people at my daughter's fingertips for her to be successful, then I can't count on her being successful where she is. Um, I remember my auntie shared something with me. She's a substitute teacher, and she said that one thing that she could kind of tell is that teachers concentrate more on students that had their parents more involved. She said it's not really a prejudice or anything against any of the other kids, but a parent who can call regularly and check up regularly kind of keeps the teacher focused on that child too. Again, that teacher being at that child's fingertips is being accessible is very important. So make sure you're following up on what's going on. If this young lady at 17 still had access to everything our children, we do have access to, the libraries, the teachers, the schools, PTAs. Get yourself involved with what's going on in your kids' lives and what's going on, and they can do things like that too. I'm very proud of that young lady, but again, we can do it in our smaller communities too. Let's celebrate people like her. Again, her name is Dorothy Jean Tillman. Remember her name too. Um, let's continue to tell our children and our uh, community about things that aren't being made mainstream. All these distractions and stuff from what's going on during our Black History Month. This is our history, and while they're erasing some histories that they don't want us to remember, we got to keep some things alive. So I hope y'all get into that. Moving on, something I found interesting in the news and quite scary is they say that they found some lead in some braiding hair. I'm sure some of y'all have heard about this. Uh, I'm very bothered by this. We have found solutions to wearing our natural hair. Braids are one of them. And I kind of looked into this. They cannot be specific in what brand of hair has it. Uh, but I want y'all to be aware of this. My daughters themselves wear natural hair. I've never had a chemical in their head. I got a going on 16-year-old and going on 13-year-old, and I've never put a chemical in their hair. And they don't have the most manageable hair, but we make it work. And I just feel better about that. So being able to braid their hair and put different styles and stuff like that that they like and do different things worked for us. So now to find out that they're finding a chemical in their hair or in the braiding hair, and they can't detect exactly which ones, is kind of bothersome. And I just want you guys to be aware. And while they can't tell us which ones, there are certain things that we can do. I don't want you guys to just don't turn a blind eye to this and like it's not anything. We are putting lead based things in our head. We're not supposed to breathe them, but yet if we're putting it in our head, we're sleeping with them, we're breathing them, we're, hugging people, it's in our clothes. This is not something to be taken lightly. I did find out that you can buy lead kits, to try to test it. You can buy them at Home Depot and stuff like that. They're little bottles, little swabs and stuff like that. The same way you swab your nose to test for diseases that I won't talk about so we don't get in trouble. The same way you swab for diseases or viruses, it's the same way you would swab some hair. I don't know, again, if it's that important to you, but if you keep a little bottle in the hair that you buy, you can swab a little bit and see if it turns the color that it's not supposed to turn. And that bottle should last you a long time. So just like I said, something that I wanted to make everybody aware of, because uh, we don't want to be killing ourselves softly and or intentionally. I don't know who's putting lead in this hair, but it seems like they'll find one way or another to do what they want to do. So um, again, just wanted to make y'all aware, and that's kind of what I wanted to wrap up as far as who we were celebrating this Black History part. I don't even want to call it a month because I believe that on my next show, like I said, keep following me. I'm gonna come up with something else. There's a lot of things going on in the news. I'm not gonna talk about politics today. It's so much going on and a lot of news that I'm gathering. I'm letting some people cook, see what's going on, and we'll serve what's at the dinner table or the business table, I'll say, on the next show. Um, but before I go, it's something that I wanted to share with you all. Um, if you've been tuning in, my first show, like I said, it was called Show Me Love. It was a show that I did right after my dad's passing. And it was a little hard for me to kind of stay focused, but with God, anything is possible. Um, and he,